I've got the Creality Falcon 2 Pro, and this one is easy to recognize because it has that red kind of timbre style door on top. Now Creality did send this out for me to review, but I think this will be an interesting comparison because I also have the Falcon 2 as well as the A1. So as part of this discussion, I'd like to share with you my thoughts on why you might choose one over the others. There is camera guidance if you prefer, or of course you can just use a traditional framing method. And we'll go ahead and start that up. Of course, it'll start with engraving first. It's always nice to do that first and then finish up with the outline that you're going to cut out so nothing shifts while it's cutting. Okay, looks like that file is completed. And check that out, you can make all sorts of custom goodies for friends and family, like this standing name badge made from acrylic. And since the parts interlock just perfectly, you can arrange those however you like. And you've got that built-in camera to keep tabs on everything, and of course that's a live feed, so you're seeing everything as it's happening in your engraver. I really like how that camera image can be overlaid on your workpiece itself, so that is a big benefit over the original Falcon 2 and other engravers that don't have a camera system built in. It's just much more accurate than trying to use the frame function. Alright, let's open it up and see how we did. You have that nice white LED light inside. It just looks red because of the shield that surrounds that, but we can actually move that carriage out of the way and make sure that all of our parts separated nicely, and it looks like they did. Well, if woodworking and laser engraving topics are speaking your language, hit me with a quick thumbs up and do consider subscribing to the channel. This one has a catch tray below, which I kind of like. You can easily clean up any of the waste that falls down below, but I will say that the method to support your workpiece on this one is not quite as good as the honeycomb on my Falcon 2. One issue is it doesn't fully support the workpiece, so those can drop down below, although they are pretty easy to retrieve with that drawer. But the other issue, for me at least, is these are aluminum, so I can't use any of my magnetic hold-down accessories. And that's particularly useful for me when I'm doing leather projects that wants to curl and bend up, and little magnets around the perimeter kind of help to prevent that. So I'll play around with this a little bit more and see if maybe I want to remove that slatted system that they currently use for the bed and just replace it with my standard steel honeycomb. Maybe a little more useful for me. Of course, you can lay these slats down flat as well, but I didn't really care for that either. It doesn't give you as large of an engraving area, and I just don't like the fact that they move around so much. So again, just another reason why, for me personally, I tend to prefer the single unit honeycomb sheets that are available separately. I'm also already noticing some damage to the base of this, so I think I'll need to get a secondary shield that goes in here, something that I buy aftermarket, just to prevent this from eventually cutting through the base of this unit. In fact, let's just give it a try and see if that honeycomb and shield from my other laser engravers will fit in this, and it looks like it does just fit, so that'll be a nice solution for me. And it looks like that'll put me at a very similar height compared to the aluminum slat system. I'll just have to dial in the focus on my laser. And then to give you an idea of settings, these two parts were cut out at 1200 millimeters per second at 100% power, and it took just a little over 30 seconds. So they popped cleanly out, made really nice cuts. So if you're thinking about upgrading an existing machine because you want it to be faster or more powerful, this unit definitely fits the bill. But for any part that needs to fit together and be assembled, this can give you really accurate results. Look at those just snap together with a friction fit. So lots of great positives with this one, like the built-in camera and extra large engraving area, but just in my short time working with it, there were a couple negatives that came to light as well. I love the idea of a hard enclosure to deal with fumes, but this tambour door, I'm not sure that it'll hold up to extended use. It does seem a little bit flimsy, but I guess time will tell on that one. I do like it quite a bit better than the soft enclosure on my original Falcon 2, but I keep coming back to the concept, what would it be like if the whole top of this opened just like the hood of a car to give you really good access? I think that might be a bit better. The other negative for me may or may not be a negative for you, depending on how many USB ports you have on your laptop and if you like to use an external mouse. And that's just that the camera plugs in here with a separate USB cable, and that's not an issue on the machine or even having a cable run across your workspace. That's all fine with me, but you need to have enough USB ports on your computer. Unfortunately, mine only has two, one to hook up to the laser and one to hook up to the camera, and that doesn't leave me with an open slot for my mouse. So it's a little bit harder to do design work on the laptop without an external mouse, but for you, may not make a difference. So really, how do you know what model might be best for you? And if a large engraving size and almost unrestricted access for your projects is important, I would say the Falcon 2 stands out. Or if you like the idea of it being guided by a camera, the A1 has some really nice features. Also dual doors on that one with a top door and what I call a toaster oven door on the front, so that's kind of clever as far as access. But if you want to combine the best of both worlds, this Falcon 2 Pro has a large engraving size, plus it's camera guided, so I think this one is pretty tough to beat. Well, thanks for sticking around to the end and checking things out. And if you want to do a little more research yourself, I'll put links to all these current models down in the description box. And please do consider subscribing to The Thoughtful Woodworker.